Hey, welcome to Battle Talk. I am Don Battlehawk, and today I want to talk about rivalries. I want to talk about my picks for this week. Hey, I want to talk about injury report. Ooh, yeah. And then I want to reveal something pretty darn cool. At least I think it's pretty darn cool. But let's start with rivalries and kind of blend in my picks for the week. A lot of people are making a thing out of Birmingham and the Stallions and the Louisville Kings and saying that there's a rivalry there. Maybe because they're both horsies. They got horsey logos. Therefore, they're rivals. But the honest to God truth is that Michigan and Birmingham were more rivals than this. Legitimately so. And, Birmingham was like, no, they're not our rivals. Our rivals were the Breakers, a team that doesn't exist anymore. Well, the Panthers don't exist anymore either. Wonder who's in the league this year that won't exist anymore. I don't know. But let me tell you what, that is not, I don't feel like that is actual rivalry tension just yet. But my pick for Birmingham at Louisville is Birmingham. I think Birmingham will beat Louisville at their sold-out home opener, and that might actually be a foundation for a real, honest-to-God rivalry in the future. All right, the next one, DC at St. Louis. Now, that potentially is a real rivalry. DC has beat St. Louis here in St. Louis. We have beat DC in DC. We have beat them here in St. Louis. They have beat us in DC. I mean, there's so much winning and losing between the two teams. I looked up who was in the lead, and I forgot. If it were a real genuine rivalry, though, I wouldn't have. But that said, it's close. And I'm actually going to pick St. Louis to win at the Dome. Not because I'm going to make it loud, although I am. Not because everyone else in the stands is going to make it loud, because we are. But because I think that Silvers and the offense, and I think that Feeney and the defense are going to do what it takes to come out competitively, and that we do have what it takes to beat DC at the Dome. And yes, I will make noise. Now, the Gamblers at the Renegades. Who do I think is going to win that? Well, the Gamblers are the Roughnecks, and the Roughnecks are the Gamblers, right? Because the Roughnecks were the Roughnecks, and then the Gamblers were the Gamblers. And then they merged the XFL and the USFL. Boom! And they made the Gamblers the Roughnecks. And now they have taken the Gamblers, which they made the Roughnecks, and made them the Gamblers again. Okay? And they're going up against Dallas, who used to be Arlington. There's too much confusion for there to be an actual rivalry here. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows where they are. And here's my pick. I honest to God, think that the Dallas Renegades are going to win this game because Luis Perez is not starting. And it's not that I don't think he's the king of spring. I just think that it's the right choice. And this new guy's going to come out and he's going to blow everyone's mind. And he's not even going to know who he beat. Did he beat the Gamblers? Did he beat the Roughnecks? Next season, will they have the same name? We really just don't know now, do we? And then we have the Aviators at the Storm, right? We have Columbus versus Orlando. Who do I think is going to win? I think the Aviators are going to fly right through the Storm and win. And that is the only real, honest to God, true rivalry we have right here. Two teams that we're going to pretend are completely and totally brand new, right? Expansion teams. And they're going up against each other for the title of the new named teams. They're the only two teams that have completely new names, and they're going up against each other for the title of the new name team. Call it New Name Bowl. And that is excitement. And I think the Aviators are going to win that one. And that is what I think about all this rivalry nonsense. And this is what I also think about who is going to win this weekend in week one. All right, now the next thing that I want to talk about is this. If you are going to the game and you see me, I'll be the guy in the kilt. There are one of three things that you could potentially receive if you interact with me. Number one, if you'd like, I think I'm going to have four of these. This is the Battle Talk card. All right. And you can potentially, if you see me, you can get this card, right? Say, hey, I want the Battle Talk card. I might even just give it to someone if they want to know, if it's in conversation. What do you do? Oh, what are you recording? Oh, I'm recording for Battle Talk. Voila. The next thing that you can do is if you ask me what is under my kilt, I will ask the first four people to guess. If you guess correctly, you get this card. That's right. There you go. So that's it right there. And for the first 9 people that ask or get offered, you will be given this card, my official football sportsing card of this season. So if you see me and you want one of those, just ask. And that is what I've got going on at the Dome tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching this video. So yeah, you know what? You do you with the rivalries. The last thing that I want to wrap up, the last thing I want to talk about, injury reports. I don't care. I mean, the team's got to play no matter who it is. Now, some people, they do it for gambling. And some people, they do it because, well, fantasy sports and whatnot. I don't know, man. The year is 2026 now. You should have, every fantasy thing should have a backup that automatically fills in when someone is injured. And then it shouldn't really matter, right? It shouldn't really matter. But all I know is that my left butt cheek, my right butt cheek, and my legs, they're not on the injured reserve list. I can walk to my seat and I can sit down and I can stand up and I can sit down and I can stand up, and that's all that really matters. I am Don Battlehawk. This has been Battle Talk. I will see you at the Dome.